Hello everyone, I hope you're all well today. Welcome to our webinar, Online Resources and Companion Websites, How to Make Them Work for You. I'm Catherine, an Associate Marketing Manager for Greater London and the South of the UK. Today we'll also be hearing from another Associate Marketing Manager, Chloe, who covers the North East and North West of the UK. Liz, Taylor & Francis' Director of Content, Resources and Development, will also be discussing our online resources, as well as Lauren, who is one of our web designers. In this webinar, we'll be covering the following questions. What are online resources? What online resources do Taylor & Francis offer? How do I find out if the book I'm using has online resources? How do I access them? And what are the benefits of online resources? During the last few minutes of the webinar, we'll also have a Q&A session where we'll be answering some questions which were sent over to us, all about the online resources we provide.
Okay, so to start off with, what are online resources? They might be something that many of you are familiar with, or they might be entirely new to you and your teaching practices, something you might have seen but never used. For us at Taylor & Francis, our online resources are designed to be as helpful to you as possible in a variety of ways, and many of our textbooks come with supplementary online content and resources to help you and your classes. These include e-resources, available through the Routledge.com website, or companion websites, which you may need a password to access. These resources can be used by you and your students and will have teaching benefits for your classes and learning advantages for your learners. Our online resources can help you to form lesson plans, set future work, and assist with course planning. They can help you save time and set assignments and in-class activities, encouraging independent learning. For your students, the resources can assist with reinforcing learning from the textbook and the lesson and help them engage with the textbook, encouraging usage. We provide a selection of online resources, including audio and video files, timelines, test banks, lesson plans, and practice exercises. Lauren, one of our designers, will now go into closer detail about the different types of online resources we offer and how they can help you in your teaching and planning.
Thank you, Chloe. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the content and features we offer on our websites. All of our companion websites are optimized to work well on computer desktop browsers, as well as different mobile devices so customers can use the site in the most convenient way for them without having to downgrade the experience. We have developed an interactive quiz for students to practice the lesson plans being taught in the classroom. They can be divided by chapters, units, or various other ways that make sense for that particular book. The questions can be multiple choice, true, false, or fill in the blank. As the user takes the quiz, they'll be told if their answer is correct or incorrect, and if incorrect, the correct answer will be highlighted. At the end of the quiz, they'll be given all of the questions and answers as well as a wrap-up of their score. These quizzes can be taken as many times as the student would like to keep practicing. You can also shuffle the questions within the quiz to be sure repeating the quiz will help retain the information. Our interactive flashcards are typically used for books with a vast glossary. These can be all in one deck or separated by chapter, unit, or glossary. The front side of the card will have the vocabulary word, and then the user will click the flip button to get the definition. Like the quizzes, these can be taken as many times as the student would like, and they also have a shuffle button to randomize the order of the cards. Our timelines animate as you scroll through the events. Besides the dates, they can include descriptions, images, and links. They have been particularly useful on history sites where there can be a lot of information to organize. We also provide other resources for students to use, such as audio and video streaming, web links, PowerPoint presentations, image galleries, datasets, and RSS feeds. We have these sources and more available as downloads as well as web pages within the site. All of our instructor resources are password protected on our Instructor Resource Download Hub. PowerPoint presentations for lesson plans, test banks for each chapter and units in the book with corresponding answer keys, a sample syllabus for the course, and instructor manuals are some of our top content supplied by our authors and contributors for instructors.
Thank you, Lauren. So, how do I actually find out if the book I'm using has online resources? Firstly, go to our website, routledge.com, and browse the book you are looking for using the search bar located at the top right-hand side of our website. Alternatively, if you're looking for a new book for your course, you could browse our textbook selection. Simply go to Subjects at the top of our website and select your subject area. You can then filter by textbooks on the left-hand side of the web page. Click on the book you would like to look at and scroll down to support material on the left-hand side. Here there will be links to either a companion website for that book or e-resources or both, depending on the resources available.
As Catherine just mentioned in her previous slide, you can find out if your chosen and adopted textbook has online resources by going to the textbook page on routledge.com and scrolling down to support material. That's the best place to start when it comes to accessing online resources. From here, you will either be able to access content directly by downloading PDF files or watching videos or audio, or you'll be able to click on a link to a companion website or our Instructor Resources Download Hub. Some of these companion websites will have resources freely available to you and to your students. However, others are password protected. To gain access, you will need to complete a short form, which can be filled out on our Instructor Resources Download Hub website. This link is readily available whenever you click on a companion website or resource and can't gain access. If you have previously registered with us on this hub, you can enter your username and password to sign in and gain access. If you haven't registered with us before, then you will need to fill out the form, which asks the following questions. What type of user are you? With the options of instructor, student, professional, or researcher. Are you the decision maker for this course? Basic information about yourself, such as your forename or surname, which we need to ensure that you have requested the inspection copy or adopted the textbook. There are then some course and institutional questions, including university name, department, course name, start date, level, number of students enrolled, and whether you have adopted the textbook as a core text, highly recommended, or supplementary reading. We will then also ask you which of our textbooks resources you would like access to. This form, once fully completed, will then be sent to our sales team, who will then verify your details and make sure that you have adopted this textbook or requested the inspection copy. Once this has been confirmed, you will receive an access token, which you can activate on the Instructor Resources Download Hub. If throughout the access process you have any issues, you can either fill out the Contact Us form, which is linked at the bottom of the page or on the left-hand side of the page, depending on which one you're on, or you can contact our Customer Services Department directly by calling the UK-based 0207 017 7720. You can also contact your sales representative directly to discuss access to companion websites and e-resources. They will always be happy to help and answer any questions you might have. I'll now hand you over to Liz, our Director of Content, Resources and Development, who will be exploring the many benefits of our online resources.
Thank you, Chloe. As you can see on the slide, there are many benefits to using online resources, and they certainly have a currency and topicality today that none of us would have foreseen when we were first asked to participate in this webinar. Whilst I'm here today to talk to you about these in a little more detail, it'd be also great to hear from any of you after the webinar about what resources have proved to be the most valuable to you, whether that's helping to engage students, save time, or using materials that are perfectly tailored to your course. My contact details, along with everyone on the call, will be circulated in a follow-up email, so please do feel free to contact me. So at Taylor & Francis, the primary objective in creating online resources is really to make sure we're producing online content that's relevant to the book, that's engaging for instructors and students, and meets the learning outcomes of the course. Before developing any online resources, we conduct market research in order to ensure we're providing resources that instructors will use, that will save time, and that they'll think will keep their students interested in the course. When developing new resources for revised editions of books, we also use Google Analytics to make sure that we're creating more of the materials that are actually being used in the classroom, in homework as well. We're fortunate at Taylor & Francis, as typically our online resources are created by our authors, which is a real benefit in ensuring that they're directly relevant to the course and the textbook that they were created for. It's fair to say, though, that there are subject area differences in preferred online resources, as well as resource type preferences, depending on what year the student is in. So, for example, we find that primary sources and timelines are particularly valued by history students. First year undergraduates like the easy and engaging appeal of timelines, so they can quickly contextualise a particular period in time, get to grips with dates, events and key themes. Whilst those at second or third year really engage with the primary source materials, learning how to interrogate these and helping them to develop those crucial higher level critical thinking skills. If I were to generalise, though, I'd say that PowerPoints and questions as various types as outlined by Lauren are the most frequently used materials on our companion websites. Research has shown that PowerPoints are particularly popular as they save time and are easily customisable. And the questions are popular because they help to assess students against the learning outcomes and also provide additional support for those students who need it. One of the greatest challenges in delivering online resources really lies in the content provision. Our authors are very busy people, so incentivising them to provide these at the time of manuscript delivery can be challenging. We have found, though, that in those cases where the online resources are developed at the same time as the textbook is being written, the print and digital pedagogies are better integrated and fully referenced in the text and online, which provides a much better learning experience for the student.
Great, thank you very much, Liz. So that brings us to the end of our webinar presentation, Online Resources and Companion Websites, How to Make Them Work for You. Hopefully this session has been informative and useful, providing you with further information about why online resources are beneficial for you as an instructor on your course. We'll now be answering any questions that were sent into us before we recorded this webinar.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. So the first question that we've had sent in is, how can I find out if a textbook has online resources once I've adopted it?
So there are 3 ways to find this out. Firstly, you can have a look at the beginning of your print book or ebook to see if there's any mention of online resources there. Secondly, you can go to your adopted books page on our website and scroll down, and there should be a link on the left-hand side that says support material. If you can't find this link, this means your book does not have any online resources. If it does, click the link and you'll be able to see which resources are available for your adopted textbook. Alternatively, you can also contact your sales representative or send round an email to everyone that has watched this webinar, and in this email will be a link to the web page that lists all of our sales reps so that you can find yours.
Perfect, thank you. Next question is, where can I find recommendations for textbooks about specific subjects with online resources or companion websites?
So again, you could contact your sales representative to see if they have any recommendations on textbooks in your specific subject area with online resources. But we also have a web page dedicated to books with online resources, which is split out by subject area. The books included on this page are new and best-selling titles. We'll send a link to this page in the email you will receive after watching this webinar.
Excellent, thank you. If I have an instructor copy, am I obliged to make a purchase, and are there any costs involved whether I decide to adopt it or not?
No, you are not obligated to make a purchase. Our inspection copies are free, and most are currently being sent as e-copies.
Fab, thank you, Lauren. Next question is, if a textbook with existing resources is getting a new edition, will the online resources be updated?
Yes, online resources are always updated with a new edition. In particular, we can use Google Analytics to see what resources were most popular with the previous edition so that we can develop more of those to support learning. We also use book reviewers to have additional suggestions about resources that could be added to the site to help with student engagement.
Perfect. What can I use to help me teach my courses as online learning?
I think this is kind of a very hot topic at the moment, and we've done a few informal focus groups with academics, and actually one of the things that's really come out that is as much face-to-face as possible, which is possibly not this question was about, but that's something that a lot of academics have recommended integrating into the course curriculum side. What we've also found out is that the integration of digital and print pedagogies as far as possible, so students get to benefit from a variety of resources to help that learning experience. Some instructors that we've spoken with have taken our companion website materials and they've added their own institutional teaching materials as well to create a sort of a blended mix of ancillaries for a particular textbook. I would also say, though, if there's a specific course that you'd like further online resources, learning or information about that's tied to one of our textbooks, then please do get in touch to see how we can further develop those resources for you.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Liz. And like you said, it's a really relevant question at the moment, especially with everything that's going on. Next question, can students use the companion websites and online resources as well?
Yes, students can use and are encouraged to use our companion websites. Most of the student resources we provide are open access. We only password protect them if there is copyrighted content or sensitive materials. If a site is student password protected, they will be asked to fill out a form similar to the form instructors fill out to gain access and receive a token for that specific site's use.
Excellent. And how do I find genuine and relevant OER?
The easiest way is to use search engines to have a look. There are a huge amount of open educational resources out there, and in particular some sites are better than others depending whether you're looking for video or print materials, but there's such a huge amount of content out there, it's worth doing a search and having a look. The other one has been peer recommendations, so talking to others teaching the courses to see what they've found has worked well in the classroom.
So that's all of our questions. Thank you so much to everyone who sent one in. And if you have any further questions, please do feel free to get in touch. We'll be running more webinars throughout this year. Please feel free to follow our social media channels to keep an eye out for what webinars we'll be running next. We'll also be sending out the follow-up email that we've mentioned to everyone who's listened to this webinar with our contact details and further information on our online resources and companion websites. Thank you so much for listening.